what's the topic? Analytics. Why you don't need analytics?
Yeah, I think that's a good
Okay.
one. Yeah.
All right. Omniture might be a $80,000 program, and companies buy it thinking it's going to be the magic bullet. It's going to solve their problems and make their website profitable and their company profitable. But that's not the case, is it?
Yeah, I mean, like I guess one of the big rules of thumbs is, you look at how much you're spending in these packages to gather all this data. You actually want to spend like, twice to, 10 times as much on the human resources behind the data collecting tools as you do the, the analytics people behind it.
Well, so people, at the end of the day, it's all about people. It's not about the tool. The tool can only give you data.
Yeah. One of my big comparisons with the analytics tool is I compare it to a bathroom scale. So I said, if your goal is to try to lose weight, you don't really need the bathroom scale to tell you how to lose weight. You can go out there and figure it out on your own. You can get these big concepts and do this stuff and figure it out. But when the bathroom scale starts to become important is when you've lost that first 15 pounds, and now you're getting stuck, and you want to get down to the next 5, the next 3, and the next 2. That's when data collection is going to matter, because then now you can weigh yourself, you can test, you can go out and exercise, you can eat less or do things that you want to do to lose the weight, and you use that as a benchmark to start refining the processes that you're doing. So it's the tool to be used, but the processes are more important.
That's a great point. So setting up a way to, well, first figuring out what you want to measure, and then setting up the system to measure that, and then having someone understand what they're doing is what you want. So,
Yeah.
so if a person just goes out and they say they want to lose some weight, then they go out and maybe they do lose some weight, but they don't look the way they want to look, and they don't have, and then they get stuck and they get frustrated because they think they're doing what is right, but they really don't know because they're not measuring it.
Yeah, you can take that analogy and say, this is the manager's view, and this is this is what your website data is collecting, and this is what your users, your customers, and all your people on the other side of the web are looking at, and what they're attracting to, and you can kind of gauge, through a consensus of what the customers really want, and you try to deliver back to them what they want instead of having the managers tell them what they need. I think you come out with a better customer service value when you do that.
So there's a topic, or there's a phrase called HIPPO, highest paid person's opinion.
Yeah, and it typically refers to the boss. All these questions are going to go back up to him, and he's the one saying, this is how we're going to do it. Well, instead of listening to your customer's view, you got to include them as part of this conversation. I mean, the web is becoming, or the tool should be used as a two-way conversation. It shouldn't be. I mean, in the old days, it was, we build the site, we tell everybody what we want, we put all the static information out there, and this is what they're going to read. Now you got this way to get this feedback coming back into you, and you should be taking advantage of that. That's real critical information.
So, and you can also take feedback data that you're getting from your own website, but you can also get data from other social media sites like Twitter and Facebook.
That's what's really making all the social media and social media marketing. So it's a hot topic now. But I guess if you go back and you look at some of the, you can't really say the bigger companies, but some of the innovative companies, is they're using Twitter as customer service. They're using Facebook to find out what their fans, or even may not be their fans, what they're saying about their products, and then doing research behind that, and then finding out you know, even through Facebook or Twitter, they can respond back and get engage those conversations, and then either simmer down the hot stuff or cultivate the good stuff.
So you've got to be able to know not just what you're looking for, but where to look. And a computer or an analytics program can't go out and find these different places, and it can't go out and find, exactly what necessarily what people were saying about your company, and it can't tell you. And even if it has the information, it takes some kind of a skilled analyst to create a plan, to make a direction, to take action on the feedback that you get.
These analytic programs, they're great at mining all this data. And you get probably more data than you could ever do with it. And I think that's one of the biggest blocks of people when they get onto these programs. They just see all this mountain of data, but then they look at it and say, well, okay, I got this. What do I do with it? So it kind of goes back to the core values of the company and say, well, what are the directions of the company? What is the goal of the company to try to, they got to define their goals before they can use the data. If you don't ask the right questions on that mountain of data, you're not going to get any answers out of it. So it does take those key analytic, personnel to go on there and with the set of the direction of the company to refine that data into information that they can give back to the company and use to move forward.
Mm-hmm. And so you should be spending about 10 times, or at least 10 times what you spend on the analytics software, on the people and the analysts to run it and make it work, and figure out how to make reports that are going to benefit management and in the end benefit the company.
That's you're getting these kind of generic rules, and I guess the funny thing is if you say, okay, I'm going to use Google Analytics, it's free, so how much do I spend on the people behind it? You think, well, if it's free, then you can get these people that can read it, and it's free, But if you really got to spend the time to get the people behind it, and then get the company behind the idea of mining data too, because if the company doesn't come on board, then I don't think any of the projects really work out.
Management's got to really.
They have to understand that this is really something that's going to, to give them information back, and if they don't believe it, then it's really hard to get any of these kind of programs started. To me, it's not the tool. It's all about the people. So I could say the analytics tools are worthless. You really got to have the people behind it.
Yeah. So there you go. That's why you don't need analytics unless you really want success.
Get the people. Get the people first.
People first. Okay, this has been Kaylee Voss with NetPaths and the Wednesday Project, interviewing Rick DeCal and SummerNet about analytics.
All right, see ya. The end result is, like I said, you spend the money for the tools, you want to spend the money for the resources. So you're actually buying the brain power, not the data, management system. So analytics to me is not really worth anything.